and then I take and put it back in one of the beds. Like last year I used soil out of the #1 bed and replaced it here. This year,
so you grow. So what you're doing there is growing different crops in the soil each year.
Yeah,
because different crops take out different nutrients.
Different nutrients. So I replace the soil every year in the tomatoes especially.
With
and it take soil out of the holes.
Yeah.
And put it in one bed and take soil that hasn't been, the tomatoes haven't grown in for a while, put it back in.
With your compost?
Yeah, and that's with the compost and all in it. That way you have soil that hasn't had all the tomatoes take out a certain nutrient that other vegetables wouldn't take out.
Right.
So it replaces everything. That guy who was talking to me the other morning from Haiti, he said he did the same thing down there.
Huh.
And,
huh. That's pretty interesting.
then
so you get the soil analyzed from the extension agent, or do you just know?
I have a little soil tester.
What are you looking for? pH?
Yeah, just the pH somewhere 5. Acidity should be 5, between 5 and 7.
So that's all you're doing. You're doing that, and then you know what tomatoes particularly like.
Yeah. They don't want, they want to.
So what fertilizer do you put down in the compost?
I usually use 10-10-10.
10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
How much do you use? Do you know exactly how much you use? Like.
You mean in the tomatoes or in the bed?
Say in each tomato hole, like you put in a quarter pound, a half a pound, 2 pounds.
Probably a big handful.
A big handful.
Yeah. And
that's in the early stages.
and I do another thing. I use a small, maybe a tablespoonful of Epsom salts in each tomato hill.
Well, that's big magnesium, right?
Yeah, that's
or manganese and magnesium.
That gives a trace mineral that tomatoes especially need. I've read that in books. I was doing it before I even read about it.
Right.
I heard some old gardener tell me that. And it does seem to work.
Yeah, Epsom salts. Palm trees really like Epsom salts.
They do?
Yeah. They got to have a lot of magnesium and a lot of whatever the hell the other one is. Whatever it is.
You get the same, get it all out of Epsom salts, I think.
Right, yeah.
They don't, I use maybe a tablespoon. I just take a little handful, probably wouldn't be much over a tablespoon, for a drop of each hill. And, oh, it's, I'll have good luck with tomatoes.
Yeah, it looks that way. So then it's by about April 15th or so you got your tomatoes in there. If it's weather.
Excepting this year I didn't, but yeah, about between the 15th and 20th.
Yeah.
I buy a thing called hot caps and put over them too.
You do? So like a little teepee?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, you ever seen one? They're actually waxed paper. You can't use plastic too good for that, it's too close to the plant.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it looks like a little hat. And you put it on, and then you put a cardboard setter on top of it, and then you pull dirt up around these little flanges, and then pull the setter off, and they're just little teepees of things in there.
How long does that stay on there?
Well, you keep that on till
the plant gets a little bigger and gets warmer.
Have them off with probably the 15th. The root system starts to grow better under that. Then after maybe the 1st of May, I take a knife and slit
the sides of it.
The sides of it, give some air. But
yeah.
You would have to be very careful down there about hot sun. I don't think you'd even need them down there.
Probably not, because if you're trying to just keep the cold off of them.
Yeah, you wouldn't need them down there. But
probably not. But, I'm more worried about the shade. I'm shading them once in a while because the sun's brutal. So how often do you water up here?
Well,
like in the bigger, when you first plant them, how often do you water?
I usually, every other day